Oh, peace, peace, peace and love. Divine love, high vibrations. May all things be good with you and all that you do. Yeah. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Our sponsor again, Burners, Graffiti Clothing Incorporated. Got that new series, that new lineup. What's it called? Bronx. It's the Uptown Tees. Uptown Tees. What is it? So much stuff. Elion_.com 720 or Elion720 on Instagram and on Facebook. Elion720. You'll find it. I say what I say. You know, as far as like real men, the thing what I'm talking about today is manhood. You know, I'm rough, man, rough. You know what I mean? Fuck it. But what do you think about manhood? You know, when people give you their definition about what manhood is, whether they be man, woman, or child, they can only talk to you, you know, based on their experience. Anything spoken is a confession. Anything written is somebody's opinion. So when you talk, when you hear about manhood, when people talk about manhood, they're only talking about when they talk about it, they talk about based on their experience. So you know, a lot of people, and especially I'm Generation X, right? I'm a child of the '70s. I was born in the '70s, 1971. I grew up, you know, in the '80s. You know, the Reagan era. Um, the Carter, the Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush era, Father Bush. So what happens is a lot of people, a lot of people didn't grow up with masculine um, men in the household. There's brothers I know that grew up with uh, uh, they grew up with just a mother, aunts, and grandmothers, you know, sisters and things like that, and female cousins, which is cool. But what happens is, you know, it goes back to nature. It goes back to watching the animals, because the animals are our teachers. You know, when the female when the female lion has nothing but female cubs and maybe one male cub, that may be a problem for the male lion, the young cub, you know, because he may have he may have lioness ways or feminine ways, even though there's you know, the thing about lions, they always gravitate to each other. You know what I mean? Pride establishes or not, they always gravitate to each other. But what happens is, um, you know, we learn from what's around us. You know what I mean? Even in animals are captive. Animals are in captivity. They learn from what's around them. They learn how to be. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of our generation has suffered at that hand, and the following generation, the millennials, suffered even more because we were programmed through media, through movies, television, and things of that nature. Generation X was like, it's okay to be without a male figure in the household. It's not okay to have a masculine father raise 3 to 4 boys. That's not okay either. You think what I'm saying? Because it creates an imbalancement mentally, and how to deal with the opposite sex. You know, these things have to be into place. When you know, with some sisters, you know, they on what is it? They're on social media, and they come across very masculine. You could tell that, yo, you didn't have a father in the house or any masculine men around that you kind of respected, and those things. Like, I dig it, but that's still not the reason to act a certain way. That's reptilian. That's a reptilian mindset for women who are in that nature, in that mindset. So, a lot of, and today, like, a lot of women are not used to masculinity. Just men. I'm like, me, I bite my tongue about nothing, bro. I bite my tongue about nothing. You come asking me some weirdo question, I'm gonna tell you some weirdo shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you some, like, or now I won't even do that sometimes. Like, I worked at jobs, I do security. I did security for 35, 34 years and worked at certain places. I worked at certain places, like in certain parts of Manhattan. Like, when you worked at certain functions and venues, like, oh, could you not talk so loud? Oh, could you not be so abrasive? Okay, it's business. You know, yeah, it's business. And you got to be a certain way. You know what I mean? Of course, it's business. I dig it. But when you work in a fucking strip club, my G, I really don't want to hear nothing you got to say, bro. These motherfuckers that come in there, smoke weed, sniff coke, drink liquor, get high, and try to screw chicks in strip clubs. But you want me to be pleasant. The fuck out of here, my nigga. Even at some spots I worked at that were, rainbow friendly. And it was like, oh, you a little too abrasive. Like, really? I'm too abrasive when I working in the rainbow environment. I'm like, I leave spots like that. And I'm like, I don't play. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, don't talk to me like that. I grew up with it. Let me tell you something. I grew up in a single mother, single family, single mom, broken home, whatever you want to call it. But, it was like my mother never taught me how to be a man, but she taught me how to be, like, fair to yourself and fair with other people. As long as people fair with you, you got to be fair with them. You know what I mean? And don't let people run over you and shit on you. You dig what I'm saying? She never taught me how to be a man, but my mother had a boyfriend every 2 to 4 years. You feel what I'm saying? She had a new boyfriend every 2 to 4 years. And don't frown on that, because some of these chicks out here got a new boyfriend every 2 to 4 months. You dig what I'm saying? So, like, my mother was abrasive. My mother was rough. She chose a rough life. You dig what I'm saying? And she's a Leo. My mom's a Leo. She made life hard for herself because she lived in her emotions. Most Leo women live in their emotions. Libra women live in their minds. They live in their minds. Virgo women want to control shit. But anyway, my mom's tried to teach me as much as she could, but I always gravitated to manhood. I always gravitated to manhood. Like, my friends, a lot of my friends, they didn't have fathers, but it was one of my friends that had his mother and father, and they lived together, and they still together to this day. So you're talking about they've been together at least 40 something years. 40 years. And they were together before I came on the scene. So you're talking about possibly 50 years, my nigga. So my homeboy's 51, so they've been together 51 years. And when I came to the crib, my G, it was none of that bullshit, man. The vibe was different. When you come to his crib, you had to show respect, my nigga. Not to say that you didn't have to do it at my mom's house, because my mom, she wasn't having it either. But when you go to the crib, when you come to ask for, oh, so here, your diction and your tone changed when you came to Money House. Jamal, my man Jamal. When you came to his house, it was something totally different. You dig what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, none of my man's, at the time, my friends, coming up, we still cool. Uh,